get the best out of them, where the customer's expectation is sky high, but what you're able to deliver with this kind of workforce is very low. So how do you bridge that gap? That's the biggest challenge that we're having. Yeah.
Okay.
So you go
one is labor.
Yeah, so what's the mismatch is, as a consumer today, you and me go to a Taj also. You get used to a certain level of service, and suddenly you go to a Junior Kuppanna. You're like, why these guys are not behaving like Taj? There's, maybe we not expect like a Taj, but our service levels are so tuned to a high level of sophistication that the bar has gone up. So
and today I feel back 20 years back, right? There is something called intimidation value, right? So maybe average or below average person might think twice about stepping into Taj because there is a certain intimidation value, but that is totally not there today, which is a good thing, right? I mean, the Taj doesn't intimidate versus so they're expecting the same thing, like you rightfully mentioned. They have access to the Taj as well as Junior Kuppanna, and they're equating both of this, right? So the intimidation no longer is so much valid how it was, right?
So I think manpower is our biggest challenge. I think I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will maybe put 1, 2, 3 as manpower.
Manpower,
right?
okay.
Yeah. So I think that's the reason why people scale or don't scale. They
Training?
might have a good product. No, manpower includes everything: recruitment, training, including keeping them retention. Retention rates are worse than IT industry for us. People leave just on the drop of the hat, right? So how do you retain them? What do you make it?
And there is no notice period.
Yeah,
right?
It's a salary. If they get, that's the notice period.
That is the notice period.
Next day they're not there.
You don't. So you must be wondering, the moment salary gets credited, the next day you're thinking, okay, whether this guy is going to turn out.
So that's the challenge, right? So I think so. That's what when I was speaking to a counterpart in IT, I used to say, yeah, we have a high attrition ourselves, but they have a simple formula to how they make it work, which is what I wanted to also kind of implement at our F&B thing. Is one, let's say TCS, they have 40,000 people. They know that 10,000 people are leaving. They'll have 10,000 people always in the training side. So they keep taking fresh talent, and they have a process in which the fresh talent becomes a professional talent within a short time. So that is where the process comes in. So then when people are leaving, you keep onboarding new people with the same level where the consistency and the service doesn't change. So that's the only, I think, and apart from that, you have to love your employees more than customers.
Absolutely.
So I know that's
ultimately they are the creators.
No, I think if you are not genuine, even after, if you're genuine and very cared employer, there will be attrition. But if you don't have that, then people just see through. I don't think the main factor is money. The salary is not. Of course, salary is a huge factor.
What is it?
I think respect. Whether there's a whether I can be here for the rest of my life as a career, whether I feel it's my family, the work satisfaction that they get. So there's a lot of soft factors which we don't really bring it into our HR process. So that's where I said we are still Junior Kuppanna. I would rate maybe 3 out of 10. So, but we are looking to improve. We need to get to 8 or 9 out of 10 to actually be a force in the F&B. Without getting the manpower right, whatever product we get, whatever processes and systems we set up, whatever technology we get, I don't think robots will be serving. Maybe down the line there might be robots serving, but right now for our format we need to get our manpower right.
Okay, so the manpower is 1. 2?
Capital. So
capital.
Capital is,
that is for scaling.
Yeah, that's for scaling.
Scaling, providing that experience, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Capital is required because you can do one store, single store with your own capital. But if you want to scale something that's working, like today, Blue Tokoi has raised so much money, and they've scaled well. So imagine if they had not raised money, they would be in just one cafe.
Absolutely.
So I think capital is second important factor that many of us don't many of the
so
founders
you see
don't
that
have
as
access.
A challenge?
Yeah, many founders don't have access to capital.
Don't have access
Traditional
to
capital is your bank loan and friends and family and all that. But beyond that, where's the capital? So that's the second. Third is, I think, a deep understanding of tech. So now data and tech has become the core business. It's like a language, right? English. So do we understand data? Do we understand tech? So that's also something true blue F&B guys, we find it a little bit hard. So that's also a challenge that we need to factor in. So people who have understood tech are outsiders from F&B industry like Swiggy, who have come on and created value, which is
they're completely a tech company. I mean,
they've created value.
Tech logistics.
But on a foundation of F&B, they've created value using tech. So, but the foundation, which is the F&B companies, have failed to create value. So that's a message that we get.
That's a interesting point. I mean, they've just platformed themselves on top of the F&B, right? I mean, that's what they've done, right? I mean, but ultimately the creators of the real product is with F&B itself. That's a service.
Their value is still minuscule.
Correct. So and the percentage also, the Swiggy percentage also is pretty.
That whole fact of that itself is something to think for F&B entrepreneurs.
What is it usually, the percentage?
What percentage?
The Swiggy.
30, percentage of our business?
No, not percentage of business, the charge. For example, a dish of 100 rupees worth.
It ranges anywhere between 20 to 35%.
20 to 35%, okay.
Their margins. Like out of 100, if we sell on Swiggy, maybe 65 rupees comes back to us.
And many of the people operate with cloud kitchens. They don't even need an outlet today, right? It's just the name and many of these cloud kitchens are Swiggy also operates that directly or indirectly, right?
No, see what Swiggy has done.
I mean, do they operate?
They do. They operate. The Bowl company was theirs. I think they sold it.
Okay.
But they have Noise, which is an FMCG product, which is their own Swiggy Instamart, which is their own in-house label. That's why they make the higher margins, right? But see what Swiggy or Zomato has done, they've disrupted the space, right? So I think when there's disruption happening, we have to also be aware of the disruption and move towards that disruption.
So just tell me, if tomorrow you have an issue with Swiggy, right? Your brand also can be replaced by one of their brands?
Yeah, I think, because it's a duopoly.
When I say you, I don't mean to say you, it's just an example, right?
So that's always been happening with Amazon. If you see Amazon Basics, those are all brands, like you have your black t-shirt, they will have an Amazon Basics black t-shirt.
Amazon Basics,
Marks and Spencers, and this one
they
will
have
look the same,
of it,
but half the price, or maybe 30% lower. So that will always get to happen. But customers also look for authenticity, right?
Okay.
So I think people who want to buy a Marks and Spencers will buy a Marks and Spencers. They will not take Amazon Basics.
Got it.
The 10%, 20% who take Amazon Basics,
they will have their share.
Definitely
is what
take.
You're saying.
And that share Amazon that's what they want to get. But but 10% itself worldwide is so big for Amazon that they don't want to leave that pie.
Okay. So what would be the fourth? We spoke about the investment, right? The investment,
manpower, team,
technology, right? The technology part of it. Okay, and then what would be the challenge?
I think also understanding and adapting cuisines. If we are taking from one region, so how do I make it adapted, customized it to other region? Because if you want to sell in India or even abroad, like for example, you spoke about KFC, right? Fried chicken, but they're serving biryani today in India.
Correct.
I mean,
how do you custom?
So they are so much thinking of customization for India. But when we take Junior Kuppanna abroad and go, we don't customize. We make a minor customization, but are we, reaching out to the local audience there? No. So I think this whole adaptation, customization is also something important.
But then you cannot call it the Kongu
not
cuisine.
Necessary.
You don't have to call it.
No, not necessary. Obviously, we're not going to be serving burgers or anything, but I'm saying, how do we adapt our food? How do we, bring in a, local flavor? How do we bring in a, like for example, when they came in here, not just the biryani, right? A lot of like the McDonald's came up with that veg tikki, which is again a local adaptation, because so many people in North having vegetarian food. So I think being sensitive, and I'm not saying that only for Indian brands going abroad, but even, for example, Paradise came to Chennai, is not successful in Chennai.
Okay.
I'm sure
because
any
it's
regional
spiced.
That's where the taste is very different. It's locally, it's again United States of India. Every state is a very different palate. What they want is different. The rice that they want is different. So how do you adapt within a particular country also is a big challenge.
You have to customize there also.
So if let's say tomorrow we decide to go at all with Junior Kuppanna at all malls in India, top 20 malls in India, or we want to go for all airports in India, what I sell in Tamil Nadu will not sell in Delhi, will not sell in Punjab, will not sell. So I think that's to understand that and create a product which can also take local tastes and preferences is also
got it. Okay, you need to be sensitive to that. Okay. So any others in the list?
So I think
as challenges? Broadly the main.
I think everything there's a solution except manpower.
Except manpower. Manpower also has the solution of automation.
Yeah,
right?
It has automation.
To an extent. It's not like you can completely. Yeah. I'm sure there'll be
This is one business in which there's. If you go to buy a shirt, it's a product.
It's a product.
Yeah, this is one business. There is a product and there's a service.
Okay.
You're blending both.
In fact, there was this investor, Zerodha, I think one of the Kamath brothers, right? They were mentioning that they will never get into, or they will never invest into passion-driven business, right? And hotel is a passion-driven business, and it's not easy to scale, right? So perhaps that adds to this thing also. You cannot completely move away from having people running the business.
No, I don't agree that it's not easy to scale. Like, see, if you look at food, as you rightly said, McDonald's has scaled, KFC has scaled. Just that we as Indian brands have not cracked that. So we are hoping that somebody like a Thalapakatti or a Paradise cracks that. So then it opens up a whole new avenue for a lot of regional brands thinking that, hey, even I can scale. So what is more important that as Thalapakatti is not just a number one in Tamil Nadu, but they're a number one in Delhi or a Punjab or Maharashtra, right? So if that happens, then you're saying that regional brands are scaling. Then you can say they'll now scale the world. And seeing one Thalapakatti go that way, there'll be 100 brands that will come from legacy and regional space, which will scale, right? So I think we need that one player. They've done that in FMCG, right? Haldiram's has scaled and all the packaged products has scaled. But in restaurant space, I think we are yet to see.
You just spoke about Haldiram. What is your opinion about Haldiram and how well have they scaled?
I think amazing story of a family which has gone beyond. And see, there is always the saying that most of the entrepreneurs operate to their potential, but very few entrepreneurs operate to the market potential. When you see the number of like few thousands of crores that Haldiram is in, whether in terms of turnover or valuation, it's still small compared to the market potential of India. So they are actually playing to the market potential.
Okay.
Of 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 crore, number is still small.
That's crazy.
It's still small.
Still small.
So that's where a Thalapakatti or a Junior Kuppanna should look at, in my opinion, that, how can we look at the market potential rather than just the, what I can do as a organization.
And they've almost made it pan-India, right? I mean, most of the things there, right?
See, luckily in the snack space, your palate is, like I have a
little more diverse, also. Right?
Yeah, it's more diverse and it's very common, right? And you can have a murku.
Maybe it's easier there.
It's easier. The chips and there are a lot of common things.
The puri and what is that, bhaji and whatever, right? I mean,
that's more common. But in specifically, traditional cuisines, the wideness of the acceptance is not there.
You have to make it wide, is what you're saying, right? Customization.
That's the challenge. Yeah.
That's the challenge. Okay. So, what are the 5 good things about the food industry? We spoke about the challenges. Now talking about what gives you a kick of being in the food business, right? What would that be?
So I think first thing is it will give a lot of employment. This is an industry that will give a lot of employment. So that's what drives me, because I think ROI wise and in terms of what you can earn out of an industry, it's not very attractive industry. So we could be doing real estate or tech or something like that. But I think the capacity to create 1 lakh jobs, 1 million jobs is possible.
That sounds like a social entrepreneur.
No, I think beyond a certain point, you should have a purpose larger than profit. So of course, profit is very important, but I think you have to have a larger thing. And this is an industry that can create wide scale employment. So that's something that's really important. Second, I think this is instant gratification. If I ship a software, people use it, they will give a feedback. But I'm serving food right across the table. Instantly, you know your customer's happy. The joy you see in the face. And when we opened in Malaysia, we had a queue for almost 1.5 hours, people waiting. And when they had the food, the way they blessed us, saying that, hey, we were just waiting for this. We wanted to have our native food and stuff like that. So that's I think the connect that food has, which is after a mother's love. You see that love and food. So I think that's a beautiful part of being in the F&B industry. So these are all things that you can quantify as
running, is it?
Quantify as passion, right? Where Nitin Kamath said that's all. It's not a P&L thing, but it's a passion. Third thing is beautiful thing is it's very regional. So I feel there's no large competition. Like tomorrow, Kongu-Cuisine started by Tatas. It's not going to happen, right? So I think it's a very regional space. So like Jack Ma said, I'd rather be the king of the pond rather than be the emperor of the ocean. Right? I know. So I think that's something that you can do in food. Pick a regional space and be this thing. So I think these are the three beautiful things that you work.
Okay. What is your we have two more questions. Now, making India as a food hub for the world, right? India as the street for food for the world, right? We've seen examples of this in Singapore, Istanbul, right? They've been creating this food tourism kind of aura to it. And today, what Korea has been doing, instead of you going to Korea, now you're experiencing Korea here itself. You can see Korean food gaining traction here, right? So if India needs to be the food capital of the world, how do you see this? I mean, do we have enough support from the government? Do we kind of see the government taking steps to it? I mean, this I think is the lowest hanging fruit which the world can enjoy, right? Yeah. I mean, we have medical tourism. I'm talking about food